Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Lishka, and just a reminder before you need to be using any machinery that we must be following the general woodworking safety guidelines that we did previously talk about in our lessons in our classes. So just to remind ourselves, if you have loose clothing, like a sweater that could have the drawstrings, that has to be taken off so nothing gets caught on the machines, okay? Once I have the sweater off, if I do have a long sleeve shirt, that needs to be rolled up past your elbows. Anything that's on your hands or your wrists, like a watch or jewelry, needs to be taken off. Ideally, you want nothing between your fingertips and your elbows so that nothing can get caught in the machines. Once we have that taken care of, always a good idea, it's a must to have a pair of safety glasses on, and they protect you from sawdust and wood chips that might get into your eyes. When the machines are on, it's a good idea to have hearing protection on, just because you're going to have loud noises and that can damage your hearing over time. If you have long hair and it comes past your shoulder length, I would like it to be confined in a ponytail behind your head so that nothing can come forward and get caught in the machines, just like loose clothing or jewelry can. Last thing here, proper footwear. We don't want to see sandals or open-toed shoes. I want to see your foot covered with a proper shoe. That way, if something falls on there, you're not going to get your foot injured or broken. All right, so just make sure that these are followed before we ever start using the machines. Thank you.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was.
Hello everyone, we're here today to learn about the table saw. Before you start, just make sure that you have a teacher present, whether it's myself or a substitute, but there has to be a teacher when you're working on the table saw. Okay, so you're not allowed to use this on your own. Also, you're going to have to wear this vest. Okay, this is an anti-kickback vest. So if you are cutting and you are standing where you're not supposed to, we'll talk about that later on. But if you do get a kickback, this vest will protect you from getting hurt from the board coming back. Okay, so you do have to have this on when you're cutting on the table saw. So we're going to show you how to rip a board. We only like to do ripping on this if you need to do cross-cutting. For special cases, we might use a table saw, but I prefer you guys use a chop saw in that case, okay? So, a couple things before we get started. If you are cutting a board that is wider and your hand does fit in the aisleway between the fence and the guard, that is a preferred method. Once the board is cut smaller, where it is a safety risk of your hands getting into the saw blade, that's where we want to use the push stick. So I have two push sticks here. I have a longer black one and I have a shorter yellow one. I would like the yellow one in the left hand, and this push stick is simply supporting the material against the fence and you're also pulling it down. The black push stick, the longer one, is going to use to push the board into the saw all the way through the cut. Also, with this one here, you never want to place the push stick against the fence. If you do that, when you push on it, the board's going to want to twist and turn. And any movement on the table saw, it doesn't like, it's going to want to spit it back at you or cause a kickback. So reminder, you want to find the happy medium where you're cutting and try and place that push stick in the middle so it's a lot safer. The left push stick does not go past the front of the guard. And the reason why that is because once you get past the guard, there's no point pushing the material into the blade. You're just supporting it before it gets cut. Once it gets past there, you simply take your left hand away, and then you would continue that cut past the splitter knives all the way through the saw. Okay, so we'll demonstrate this now. Okay, always make sure that your guard is in place. When you're cutting, you want to stand off to the left. You don't want to have anyone standing behind you, and you don't want to stand in the aisleway where you could get hit. This is a safety measure, the vest. If it does kick back and you are in the way, it will hit you, but if you stand in the correct placement off to the left, you shouldn't have to worry about it kicking back. Okay? So, we always start with our board on the fence. Okay, we're going to turn the machine on now. Left push stick supporting against the fence and down. My right one is in the middle, all the way through. Pull away. Push through the saw. Alright, so that's how we cut on the table saw using push sticks. And a reminder, make sure your teacher's present, you have your vest on, you're standing off to the left side. Have a good day.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kind of dumb.